Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Right, listen up because we drop in knowledge. Tupac, Machiavelli, the man, the myth, the legend. From the streets to the charts, he was real, he was raw, he was Tupac. We're about to break down 10 things about Tupac that'll have you looking at the man in a whole new light. Get ready to get schooled because class is in session. 8, let's rewind it back. Picture this, New York City, 1971. Tupac's story starts way before the fame, before death row, before it all. Born into struggle, his family was all about fighting for what's right, for their people. His mama, Tupac Shakur, was a Black Panther, straight-up revolutionary. That spirit, it got passed down. Growing up, Pac saw the streets, felt the struggle firsthand, moved around a lot, man. Baltimore, Marin City, even a little time in New York. But through it all, music was his escape, his voice. He found his way to the arts, to theater, to expressing himself. That's where the talent started shining through. In 1991, he dropped his debut album, Tupacalypse Now. Boom, the game changed. The game? Tupacalypse Now, a title that resonates with power and defiance. Man, that album was like a bomb dropping on the music industry. It shook the foundations of hip-hop and beyond. He wasn't afraid to talk about the streets, about police brutality, about the struggles nobody else wanted to touch. His words were raw, unfiltered, and real. He was only 20 years old when he recorded it, but his lyrics were way beyond his years. His wisdom and insight were astonishing for someone so young. He spoke for a generation that was tired of being ignored, tired of the injustice. His voice became their voice, echoing their frustrations and hopes. Songs like Brenda's Got a Baby and Trapped became anthems for the youth, for the voiceless. They were more than just songs, they were calls to action. The album was a critical and commercial success, but it also brought Pac a lot of controversy. It sparked debates and discussions across the nation. Politicians criticized his lyrics, some radio stations even banned his music. They feared the power of his words and the influence he had on the youth. But that only made him stronger, made him more determined to speak his truth. He knew the importance of his message and refused to be silenced. Tupacalypse Now wasn't just an album, it was a movement. It was a revolution that ignited a fire in the hearts of many, a legacy that continues to inspire. Now, Pac wasn't just a rapper, he was a natural-born artist. He could act, sing, write poetry, you name it. So it was no surprise when Hollywood came knocking. His breakout role was in the movie Juice, where he played Bishop, this intense, troubled youth. He killed that role, man. Then came Poetic Justice alongside Janet Jackson. He played Lucky, a sensitive, poetic soul trapped in a tough environment. He went on to star in other films like Above the Rim and Gridlocked. He was using his platform to make a difference. Chapter 4, Caught in the Crossfire, Tupac's legal battles. Now, Pac's life wasn't all sunshine and roses. He was real, he was raw, and he lived his life on his own terms. But that lifestyle came with a price. He found himself in trouble with the law, caught up in the system. He faced assault charges, weapons charges, even did some time behind bars. The media loved to paint him as a villain, a menace to society. But those who knew him knew his heart. He always maintained his innocence in many of the cases, claimed he was targeted because of who he was, what he represented. Chapter 5, East Coast versus West Coast, hip-hop at a crossroads. Now the 90s, man, it was a wild time in hip-hop. The culture was exploding and the music was evolving at a rapid pace. The East Coast-West Coast rivalry was at its peak and Pac got caught right in the middle of it. It wasn't just about the music, it was personal. Biggie, Puffy, the whole bad boy crew on one side, they were dominating the East Coast scene with their unique sound and style. Tupac, Suge Knight, Death Row Records on the other. They were the kings of the West Coast, bringing a raw, unfiltered energy to the game. The tension was thick, man. It was palpable. You could feel it in the air at every concert, every event. Diss tracks flying back and forth, beef spilling out into the streets. It was a war of words that often turned physical. It was more than just music. It was about respect, about loyalty, about where you came from. It was about representing your coast with pride. Tupac was a proud West Coast representative, and he wasn't afraid to defend his turf. He wore his allegiance on his sleeve. This rivalry, it got ugly, man. It was a clash of titans, and neither side was willing to back down. He knew he was in danger, but he refused to back down. He stood his ground, even when the stakes were life and death. Chapter 6. The Heart Beneath the Bandana, Tupac's compassionate side. Now, behind the tough exterior, the bandana and the lyrics, Tupac had a big heart. He cared about his community, about uplifting his people. He started the Thug Life Foundation, man. It was all about empowering young people, giving them alternatives to the street life. He organized rallies, spoke out against police brutality, fought for what he believed in. He was a strong advocate for education, knew it was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty. He was always willing to lend a helping hand, to give back to those less fortunate. Now, even though Pac's life was cut short, his music, his message, it continues to live on. His voice, his passion, and his relentless pursuit of truth resonate with fans old and new. He left behind a vault of unreleased music, poems, writings, enough material to keep his legacy alive for years to come. These treasures offer a glimpse into his mind, his struggles, and his dreams. Albums like The Don Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory, and Are You Still Down? Remember Me were released after his death, and they topped the charts. These posthumous releases showcased his versatility and depth as an artist. It's like his fans never forgot him, man. They hold on to his memory, cherishing every piece of his work, every word he spoke. His music became even more powerful, more poignant. Each lyric, each beat carries the weight of his experiences and the struggles he faced. There have been documentaries, biopics, books, all trying to capture the essence of Tupac Shakur. These works attempt to unravel the complexities of his life and the impact he had on the world. He's become an icon, a legend, his face plastered on murals all over the world. These murals are a testament to his enduring influence and the love people have for him. His music continues to inspire, to motivate, to spark conversations about the issues he cared about. From social justice to personal struggles, his lyrics remain relevant. Tupac's legacy is more than just music. It's about the impact he had on culture, on society. His words and actions continue to influence new generations of artists and activists, ensuring that his spirit lives on. Now, Pac's influence on hip-hop, on music in general, it's undeniable. He paved the way for so many artists, inspired a whole new generation of rappers and singers. His impact is still felt today. Artists like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Kanye West, they all cite Tupac as a major influence. They were inspired by his fearlessness, his willingness to speak truth to power, his passion for his people. He showed them that hip-hop could be more than just entertainment. It could be a tool for social change, for self-expression. He gave them a voice, a platform to share their own stories, their own struggles. Now, the circumstances surrounding Pac's death, man, they're shrouded in mystery. September 7th, 1996, he was gunned down in Las Vegas. It was a senseless act of violence that shook the world. To this day, nobody knows for sure who pulled the trigger, what really went down that night. There are countless theories, conspiracies, but no real answers. Some say it was a result of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, a hit gone wrong. Others believe it was a setup, a conspiracy involving powerful people. Tupac's death, it sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community, through the world. He was only 25 years old, man. Tupac Shakur, a legend, a poet, a revolutionary. He was more than just a rapper, he was a voice for the voiceless, a symbol of hope for the hopeless. His life may have been cut short, but his legacy, it lives on. He taught us to fight for what we believe in, to never back down from a challenge. He showed us that it's okay to be vulnerable, to show your emotions, to be real. His music, his words, they continue to inspire, to motivate, to spark conversations about the issues that matter. He may be gone, but his spirit, his message, it continues to live on in the hearts and minds of millions around the world. We've journeyed through the life and times of Tupac Shakur, from his early days in Harlem to his rise as a hip-hop icon. We've explored his music, his movies, his activism, and the mystery surrounding his untimely death. Pac's story is a reminder that even though life can be tough, even though we face struggles and setbacks, We can overcome anything with determination, with passion, with a belief in ourselves. His legacy is one of hope, of resilience, of using your voice to fight for what you believe in. If you vibe with this trip down memory lane, make sure to drop a like on this video, share it with your crew, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel for more stories about the legends who shaped hip-hop. Peace out.